Okay. I guess I want to watch this. Why Facebook and Instagram have been falling off?
Stock price has fallen by over 50% in only 7 months. What's going on? Well, let's begin by looking at the day on which this price decline began. The 2nd of February 2022, when the parent company of Facebook and Instagram lost $230 billion of value in less than 24 hours.
What?
Just to give you an idea about how much money $230 billion is, the total GDP of New Zealand, being the value of every single product or service produced by the entire country for the whole year, was only 210 billion, which is less than what Facebook lost in a day. So what went wrong on this fateful day in February when Meta set the record for the highest one-day value decline in stock market history? To put it simply, this was the day on which Facebook revealed to the public that both their site usage and revenue has been declining. Shown on screen is a graph displaying the amount of daily active Facebook users over the last 10 years. For every quarter besides the first 3 months of the pandemic, growth in the Facebook user base was almost strangely consistent. However, if we take a look at late 2021, for the first time in the website's history, user growth flattened off substantially. When looking at the graph for monthly Facebook users as opposed to daily Facebook users, the data is similar. Only 0.1% growth from October to January, 0.8% from January to April, and then even a decline of 0.07% from April to July. Surprisingly, or perhaps unsurprisingly, Instagram follows a similar trend to Facebook. Nothing but growth from 2015 to 2021.
I said, oh, people, how do people talk to people? And at the time it was Facebook, and then I asked chat. What people use? It was Snapchat, and people said Snapchat fell off. People now they use Instagram. Well, if Instagram is falling off, and people don't, then what do people use now?
Which point stagnation hits. Why? Well, the first reason behind Facebook and Instagram's user growth stagnation is somewhat of an impressive problem. They're battling with human population limits and have run out of new countries to expand into.
They don't use Discord, no shot.
3 billion log into Facebook at least once a month, leaving
where do people post their stuff? If you're a normal person in like high school or whatever, and you have friends and whatnot, how do you communicate your life to them? What do you use these days? Instagram. Okay, so it's not falling off then.
5 billion people that don't use the service regularly. Of these 5 billion remaining, 1.7 billion live in countries such as China, Iran, and Russia, where Facebook and Instagram have been banned by the government, leaving only 3.3 billion who aren't using the service. According to an article written by the New York Times, another 3 billion do not use the internet at home or on their phones, and in some of the world's most populated countries, including Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Nigeria, a majority of people are not online. If you then factor in another 15% of the global population who are under the age of 10, making them too young to use social media at all, then pile on the hordes of people who have made a deliberate effort to boycott social media altogether, Facebook and Instagram's problem becomes obvious. They're running out of humans. In an article written by Time titled "Inside Facebook's Plan to Wire the World," it explains how Zuckerberg is working to literally provide the entire third world with the internet because it's now the only way that Meta can reach new people. Connecting the entire world wouldn't actually literally be possible unless everybody in the world were on the internet. So Zuckerberg has decided to make sure everybody is. This sounds like the kind of thing you say you're gonna do but never actually do, but Zuckerberg is doing it. He is in Chengdu today on a campaign to make sure that actually literally every single human being on Earth has an internet connection.
We really want to get the next billion people online. And if we can play a role, then that's something that I personally care a lot about.
Is it selfish for Zuckerberg to connect the entire world to the internet
it's
just so he
beneficial.
can get more people onto Facebook and Instagram?
It seems like a fair exchange to me. I don't see a problem with it.
Or is it a win-win situation for everyone?
Once they have the internet, they're not bricked to go to Facebook. They can still do other shit.
An ethical conundrum for you to consider. However, this might not even be the main problem, as Meta isn't only running out of new people to introduce the services to, but those who are currently active on the services are departing in droves. Somewhat hilariously, Facebook has lost 1% or 30 million of its users to that pesky little thing known as death, and with 12.1% of Facebook's user base being over the age of 55, this number will inevitably increase as time progresses. Yet Facebook should probably be less worried about the boomers and a little more concerned about the zoomers, as Facebook's biggest loss in user count stems from the younger generation. Back in 2018, Facebook demographics began to follow a very interesting trend. There was an increase in users from the older generation, little change from those in their middle age, and a pretty substantial loss in users from those under the age of 25. 1 year later in 2019, another piece of data was published supporting a similar trend, only to a more severe degree. There was a slight increase from the
That
old,
makes sense,
barely
yeah.
any change for the middle-aged crowd, and again, a massive 17% decline in only 2 years for those using
I mean, because old people don't change. I feel like middle age, like they don't care, and young, I mean, they just what it is.
Facebook under the age of 34. After seeing this data, it's no
They have
surprise
the energy
that
and the
Facebook
new
is
trends
also
or whatever
earned
the fuck
the title of a
it is.
social
Why
media's
not?
retirement home. It's definitely developed a reputation as a platform mainly used by the older generation. The problem with this is that the younger generation wants to use whichever social media app their friends are on, as opposed to the app that their grandma is on. This might also account for why it's become such a trend for young people to hate on Facebook. Who the hell uses
Well,
Facebook
it's
anymore
shit,
is
though.
without a doubt something you've heard from a friend or your favorite large influencer, and it seems as though this attitude is doing serious damage to the platform, as when looking at the most recent data for how many youngsters are using the platform in 2022, the numbers begin to get scary. When US teens were surveyed in 2014 to 2015, 71% said that they used Facebook at all. However, over the last 7 years, this number has more than halved to only 32% recently, representing the biggest decline out of any social media platform. And when looking a little closer at the graph displayed on screen, the reason
the problem that I have with stats these days is that stats are always misrepresented, and they're very hard to understand as an outsider. Okay, because daily users, monthly users, subscribed users that have an account, so all stats that are fluctuating, and they're difficult to get a grasp of, because they are the people that are behind these companies. They publish these stats in ways that sometimes are disingenuous. It's like whenever guys, remember when Overwatch was gonna dead and they were saying, guys, 40 million active Overwatch players, 40 million active users. Like, dude, bro, I sit in queue for like 35 minutes for a game at like master level, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? And it's like, it's the way that they get these things get communicated.
Becomes pretty damn obvious. Competition. Teens just don't find value in Facebook anymore. There are now well over 5 strongly positioned social media platforms to endlessly scroll through, and it isn't sustainable for our minds to compartmentalize nor prioritize our relationship with all of them. For the sake of time and sanity, people have to eliminate platforms that begin to lack a value-add incentive. Facebook, which teens often associate with their parents, has little to offer Gen Z. Zuckerberg himself even echoed this sentiment. When Meta's stock price began to decline 7 months ago, he stated that they were facing unprecedented levels of competition, and that people have a lot of choices for how they want to spend their time, and apps like TikTok are growing very quickly. Going back to the data, we can see that the Gen Z big 4 social media platforms are Snapchat at number 4, Instagram at number 3, TikTok at number 2, and YouTube way out in front with over 95% of US teens using it. When examining each of these big 4 platforms, the value they add or the edge that they have is obvious. YouTube long-form video, TikTok short-form video, Instagram images and photography.
This is why Zuckerberg went on Joe Rogan to appeal to younger peps. Okay, you're dumb as fuck. Okay. One, Joe Rogan doesn't have that much reach and that much power. Joe Rogan is just another podcaster. Okay, that's fine. 2, that podcast was boring as fuck. I fell asleep. It was absolute dog fucking garbanzo. It was a shit podcast where Mark Zuckerberg thought that his things were revolutionary, when these are things in tech we've seen in the past decade in insane volume, coming out of the woodwork saying, guys, this is revolutionary, guys. You can talk to somebody and show your hands and your motions. Bro, we've had that shit in fucking third-party apps and shit on Steam, VR chat for a decade. A decade. What are you talking about coming in here to, like, you fucking discovered the water or fire, bro?
Snapchat photo
what was
messaging.
that?
Even Twitter has a discernible edge as a platform for those who want to follow politics and the celebrity world. However, when looking at Facebook, the value it adds or the edge that it has isn't all that obvious. The general vibe that Facebook gives is that it's a watered down, weaker version.
If you have VR, dude, and you have a full body or something like that, go to VR chat, okay? You'll understand what I mean. The motions, the whatever, dude, okay? Anything he's saying, we already have that shit. Most of it.
4 most popular apps combined, and it's diversified to the point where rather than being strong in one area, it's just kind of weak in all areas. When Facebook's stock price began to decline 7 months ago, Zuckerberg announced that their focus was going to be on short form video, but it's obvious that the Facebook algorithm is poor in comparison to YouTube and TikTok, and what's the point in going on Facebook to see your friends' photos when they're posted to Instagram anyway? Facebook definitely has a bit of an edge with Messenger, but this is still in very close competition with Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and good old-fashioned old-fashioned text message. Perhaps this is also why Zuckerberg has started to put his focus and $10 billion into creating the metaverse. He understands that Facebook's edge lies in providing the best circumstances for online social interaction, and if Zuckerberg can pull it off in a way that's interesting, accessible to everyone, and not cringy, it sounds like a pretty cool concept despite the online metaverse hate train. Additionally,
you know what though? What the thing I can give him though for the I'm not sure on I think that hard on the podcast is that what he made me think about is that instead of catching up, I think he's trying to bypass the whole thing and skip ahead and get way ahead of the curve, right? But it's all a matter of delivery and if he actually executes it properly. Okay, I think he's trying to go way beyond, right? And that can have a lot of challenges, but if he pulls it off, it's kind of dank though. It could be dank if he pulls it off.
Additionally, the metaverse is theoretically a product that will appeal to the younger audience who are departing Facebook in droves. In an article written by Forbes, this was highlighted as the main reason behind the metaverse's development. If it wants an app to win back young people, it will need to build it itself. And Zuckerberg seems to feel a VR-centered metaverse will do this. We're retooling our team to make young adults our North Star, he said on
last pause. One of the problems with these things is something that I think, something that I call, something that they call, uncanny valley, right? When you make something that looks realistic, something that makes that it looks real, right? The problem with that, sometimes when you're close to real, but you're not quite there, it looks really fucking bad. It's scary how bad it looks, right? And with the thing that they're doing with the metaverse or whatever, right, is that they're trying to make motions and face expressions real. So when you talk to somebody on the metaverse or whatever, you seem like you're communicating with somebody and you feel like a real connection. But if you don't hit the mark, where you're there, you fall into that uncanny valley, right? Where it's like it's almost scary because the faces are all like fucked up and you're all, oh, Jesus Christ. And it's just really bad.
Last week's Wall Street conference.
So it's why it's really hard to
The
pull
other thing
off.
that Zuckerberg seems to have going for him is that, as highlighted by the previous data, it seems as though many of Facebook's young former users are simply migrating to his other product, Instagram, which is clearly not in the same dire straits that Facebook is in. However, it's not like Instagram hasn't been without complaints recently. What the hell is going on with the new Instagram update, May 2022? Why has Instagram changed? The app looks different and users hate it. June 2022. Why is everyone saying Instagram is rubbish now, and what's TikTok got to do with it? July 2022. All of these articles touch on the exact same current complaint about Instagram. It's drifting away from its roots in an attempt to become TikTok. It used to be a place for pictures of food, travel, maybe short videos in stories. Like Facebook, your Instagram feed is mostly filled with people you know, or brands or influencers you chose to follow. That's all changed now though. It seems Instagram is trying to be TikTok. As a result of these drastic changes to the platform, Kendall Jenner and Kim Kardashian would both post a story for their combined
because that doesn't cannibalize the experience that you had before. It's additive. It doesn't cannibalize the experience. It adds more if you want it to. That's not a problem. It's never been a problem. That is not a problem.
86 million Instagram followers stating, make Instagram again. Stop trying to be TikTok. I just want to see cute photos of my friends. Sincerely, everyone. However, it's not like celebrities have been the only ones to notice such changes. If I really wanted another TikTok on my phone, I would have downloaded TikTok. What's up with the Instagram feed? Y'all are supposed to be competing, not copying, LMAO. This new Instagram immersive feed has got to be one of the worst updates to an app I have ever seen, LOL. In a split second, my Instagram turned into TikTok, with my mostly photography feed turning into video. I love TikTok for what it is, but this is bullshit. They've ruined Instagram. What's even funnier is that despite making all of these changes, an article published this month by the Wall Street Journal outlined that Instagram is still nowhere near competing with TikTok. The article stated, Instagram users cumulatively are spending 17.6 million hours a day watching Reels, less than 1/10 of the 197.8 million hours TikTok users spend each day on that platform. Reels engagement.
But isn't TikTok in China though? And they said that Facebook and whatever is not in China
had been falling, down 13.6% over the previous 4 weeks, and that most Reels users have no engagement whatsoever. When referring back to Instagram's quarterly revenue chart, these negative changes seem to reflect in the flatline seen over the last 12 months. Is Instagram running into the same problem as Facebook, trying to compete with everything whilst losing their edge in the process?
Different app over there, okay. Interesting. Bro, why is it so pressy, man? Bro, there's things to talk about in this thing, okay? You mute, next take. This is why I watch YouTube, so I don't watch the takes. Bro, then watch it on your own. What the fuck are you watching the stream for, dumb fuck? What the fuck are you even watching the stream then? You fucking moron. You absolute fucking soft brain jello Andy. Bitch ass. What's wrong with you, man?